Interstate 4. I've driven that road to work for years now. I loved driving it. I enjoyed getting into my car, driving to work, rocking out to my music, and seemingly getting to work in no time flat. All of that's changed now since Interstate 4 started the Ultimate Project. Now the roads are jammed. Coming into and leaving work, it's just stop and go traffic. Everyone's frustrated, and it's just not fun anymore. That's why I take alternative transportation. Its proven track record of relieving symptoms such as sitting in traffic and road rage leaves me feeling relaxed and ready for the workday. And with Huey Avenue being closed for a full 18 months, it's important that you also consider alternative transportation. It worked for me. Maybe it'll work for you too.
Alternative transportation. Proven fast relief from traffic jams, road closures, and road rage. Not taking alternative transportation could produce side effects that include drowsiness, extreme irritability, increased sweating, bouts of rage, headaches, slurred speech, Tourette syndrome, narcolepsy, nausea, upset stomach, diarrhea, constipation, body, swelling hands and feet. Ask your doctor if alternative transportation is right for you. Chances are, the answer's yes.
Promoting physical activity is a public health priority for the City of Orlando, and our parks make it easy and affordable for residents to get up and to get moving. So this new fitness facility that we're going to cut the ribbon on today is one of a number of fitness pods that we have opened in various parks, and it brings the number of them to 12. And that's a lot of opportunities to get fit. And just for information's sake, the clerk tells me that somebody wasn't listening to the fact that I said we're going to hear all the general appearance requests after the 501 hearing, but we have to do the 501 hearing. Okay, Ed. Okay, I'm going to open this public hearing. This is, take note that it's a little after 5:01. This is the second of two public hearings for the adoption of the millage rate and budget for the City of Orlando for fiscal year 2018-2019. At the first hearing held on September 4th, City Council adopted the proposed millage rate and tentative budget. The second hearing, City Council will consider for adoption the final millage rate and budget. Madam Clerk, would you read the title of the millage resolution?
City of Orlando Millage Resolution. Resolution of the City of Orlando, Florida, establishing the ad valorem tax levy millage rate upon the assessed real property and business personal property tax rolls of the year 2018.
The proposed millage rate for the city for fiscal year 2018-2019 is 6.6500 mils, which is 8.57% higher than the rollback rate of 6.1248. Is there a motion to adopt the millage rate?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Ings. Brian?
So on July 23rd, City Council approved a millage rate of 6.65, adhering to all the trim guidelines. The millage rate was proposed again on September 4th. An advertisement ran in our local newspaper last Thursday, the 13th of September. This final rate has remained the same throughout the entire fiscal year 2019 budget development process and is within the parameters outlined by the state. It is also not changed from the prior year and is to maintain the city's programmatic levels of service.
Questions of Brian? Is there anyone from the public who'd like to speak on the millage rate? Discussion among commissioners. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? So the motion passes. Madam Clerk, would you read the title of the budget resolution?
City of Orlando Budget Resolution. A resolution of the City of Orlando, Florida, adopting the annual budget of the City of Orlando, Florida for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2018 and ending September 30th, 2019.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ing, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Brian.
The total proposed budget is $1,273,470,803, including a general fund budget of $488,421,658, and has not changed since our first public hearing. The budget in brief and the Commissioner Notebook documents are available on our website in addition to the information included in this formal budget resolution.
Questions, Brian? All right, public comment. I do have two appearance request cards. One is Luana Gelzer, the other is Michelle Suarez, and I understand you want to have Luana speak for you? Okay.
Oh, I gotta try to read this upside down. Oh, Lord have mercy. Struggling there, struggling. Where's this? It's not picking up the entire page. I'll try to use visual aids. Luana Gelzer, 7674 St. Stevenson Court, Orlando, 32835, budget hearing. I got some information that I requested prior to that was put back on the website, so I was able to follow something. But at this point, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it that way, Mayor Dyer. I will provide everybody a copy, but all of you guys have it, because I'm trying to read this upside down, and I don't have two copies. But my concern is I'm going to, once again, reiterate that I have some concerns with the soccer stadium construction costs. And I went back to 2014, 2015 budget. And actually, on 2013, 2014, on page 35 or 57 of the commissioner's book that was distributed to the community and everybody else on July 28, 2014, $50 million was allocated for soccer stadium construction. One was for TDD construction and soccer stadium team contribution, which was the $30 million. It was budgeted for that. I remember all of that. Then 2014, 2015, in the proposed budget column, nothing is scheduled there. No allocation for the budget whatsoever. I've since went back and looked at all city approvals as far as if we were going to reallocate funding or anything in these particular, that particular line item. I also noticed on that line item, it was 4090-4092. So there was no actual expenditures in 2013, 2014, but when I got the 2015, 2016 book, I did notice that instead of the $50 million, I looked at the actuals you had scheduled, you spent $3,118,776. Then in your budget, your revised budget, you said you had $10 million. The proposed budget for 2015-2016, zero, which begins to make me wonder if you had 50 million, then you changed it, where's this going? And you talked about the reallocation and everything, but my question was, if it's on an expenditure, it's not listed. An expenditure means you're spending money. A reallocation or revenue meaning that's money that's been given to you. If it's been categorized in the wrong way, we've had ample enough time to rectify this. So my next concern was I brought to your attention 2 years ago when I was looking through the budget, and I looked and saw $10 million. Then that was the revised budget for 2014-2015, but the actual expenditures for 2014-2015 was $51 million and some change. But you budgeted $10 million. That's a major discrepancy that I have a concern. That's $40 million expenditures. Then I'm looking at the revised budget for 2015-2016. You say you're gonna put $10 million in, and that's a revised budget. But previously you didn't allocate nothing. It's like every year you say you're not gonna spend no money there, but when you get the next book, you put in a revised budget, you added $10 million, and I'm going, why would you just put that in the same column? Maybe that's the process that you do. And if you're not following me, everybody, it's 2016, 2017, Commissioner Books, page 44 of 75. And I'm just going, man, I'm trying to follow my money here. I said, oh, maybe it's because they just do it that way everywhere else. But then I looked through all the other budgets. When you have allocations for proposed budgets in the other columns, but when it comes to the soccer stadium, every year it's not there. And then when we go back and get the next book, you spent money. So it's a flip-flop. I'm just looking at your data. Explain to me how you're doing it. So I'm on 2017, 2018, that was distributed to the community July 24th, 2017, page 50 of 75. And I'm looking at 2016, 2017, the year before, proposed budget, zero. But the revised budget the following year for the same year is $10 million. And I'm going, well, why every year you're proposing, the year that we're looking at, it's not there, but when we go back, it sounds like you're hoping people will not follow the process. And I also want to add that the line item, or the accounting code, whatever you want to call, changed from 4090 to 4092 to 4090 to 4094. So I'm going, So are we not spending money on construction? Or are we spending money on soccer stadium construction? Because remember, I'm looking at the actual expenditures. And in that line item, in that column, it's saying we're spending money for that. And last time when I was here, you said maybe it's for something we're doing around the stadium, infrastructure or wherever. We had a sidebar, but the sidebar didn't give me the information on why it's still in this column. And so I want to continue to ask questions on why are we spending money on soccer stadium construction. Now, earlier today, or last week on the 4th, you added almost $500,000 for mitigation for the wetlands. My question will be, even though I know you're gonna pass this budget, is that gonna be an accrued expense for this current fiscal year? Or is this gonna be something that will be reflected in the upcoming budget? So that's gonna be a question I'm posing to your team. Because I need to know where we spending that $500,000, and was it budgeted before, or where we're doing? Is it an accrual? I don't want to see it coming back and we got the same policy. So Mayor Dyer, I don't have a problem with allocating money for our fire department, our police, public safety. I'm not questioning that. I'm questioning why is there any spending in this category when this is a private venue? And it's been going on for quite some time. We should have been able to correct this situation back in 2015 when it became a private venue. So why am I looking at 2016, 2017 actual expenditures on page 52 of 87 of the current commissioner book for 2018, 2019, and almost $1 million was spent for soccer stadium construction? It does not make sense. Clear it up, because it makes it look like something is going on in the back. And it's been continued, this has been going on 5 years. 5 years. So when I came before you 2 years ago, when I saw that $52 million, it was a reallocation. We did the $30 million and we did this. You're not reflecting it in this document. And if anybody look at it from year to year, because if you're looking at it just for 1 year, you might not catch it. But I don't just look at it for 1 year. I look at a pattern. And the pattern is you're doing something with the finance of the money for the city of Orlando taxpayers. And what are you doing for the soccer stadium construction? And I need to know once again about that mitigation cost for the $500,000 that was the ordinance that was recently passed for Public Works. I believe it was it was just number 3. I apologize, the number on the consent agenda. So Mayor Dyer, I wish y'all well. I think we could do better with the preparation of how it's given to the community, because people won't come and ask questions if it's easily explained. And I've said it before, I kind of got a finance background, so maybe I'm looking at it from a different perspective than the average citizen, but it shouldn't matter. If you look at this, it just doesn't add up. And when it doesn't add up, it makes people, or myself, question what is truly going on. So I think we can do better. I hope we can do better. But if you don't, I'll keep coming before you and bringing it to your attention. Something is wrong when it comes to soccer stadium construction. That's what you got here. Soccer Stadium Construction Fund, 4090-4094. It shouldn't even be here. Thank you, Mayor Dyer.
Okay, thank you for your testimony. All right, discussion among commissioners.
Mayor, I do. I'm sorry.
Commissioner Gray.
Forgive me, that was a pretty big accusation. And so I'm curious, I'm looking at Chris, I'm looking at Brian.
Commissioner, I can tell you most of it.
Please,
$30 million was from the team. They decided to privately fund it, so they didn't give us $30 million.
Okay.
$20 million was tourist development tax from Orange County that they repurposed into the Performing Arts Center.
Good.
And then we cashed out the bonds. We've done some work around the building. Remember, we had to move a retention pond.
Right. Okay, perfect.
Further discussion, hearing none on Mayor. What? Okay, Commissioner Stewart.
Mayor, thank you again. I apologize. I have to read it every year. As you know, I have served for many years Executive Director of the Christian Service Center for Central Florida. This budget for this year and many years prior to my service on the City Council has included funds that provide a modest grant to the center. The amount of that proposed funding for this year is $25,000. None of that money goes towards the general operation of the Christian Service Center. These funds, however, will not be granted to the Christian Service Center unless and until the Christian Service Center and the city enter into a separate written agreement. Such agreement will come before the City Council for individual approval sometime in the future. I want to make it clear that when this specific item comes before the council, I'll abstain from voting on that funding agreement between the city and the Christian Service Center, and we'll fill out all the proper required documentation, noting the abstention information. Thank you, Mayor.
Further discussion, hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. All right, this is the second of two public hearings for the adoption of the millage rate and budget for the Downtown Development Board for fiscal year 2018-19. At the first hearing held on September the 4th, City Council adopted the millage rate and tentative budget. At the second hearing, City Council will consider for adoption the final millage rate and budget. Madam Clerk, would you read the title of the millage rate for the DDB?
Downtown Development Board Millage Resolution, a resolution of the City of Orlando, Florida, establishing for the Downtown Development Board the ad valorem tax levy millage rate upon the assessed real property within the Downtown Development District of the year 2018.
The proposed millage rate for the DDB for fiscal year 2018-19 is 1 mil, which is 18.31% lower than the rolled back rate of 1.2241. Is there a motion to adopt the millage rate?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Stewart. Brian?
On June 27th, the Downtown Development Board approved their millage, and on July 23rd, the City Council, on behalf of the DDB, set the millage rate of 1.000, adhering to all trim guidelines. The millage rate was proposed again on September 4th. An advertisement ran in our local paper last Thursday, the 13th, and this final rate has remained the same throughout the entire fiscal year 19 budget development process and is within the parameters outlined by the state. It is also not changed from the prior year and is to maintain board-delivered programs.
I don't have any requests for public comment. Is there anyone who wants to comment on the millage rate of the DDB? Discussion among commissioners. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Madam Clerk, the title of the budget resolution for the DDB.
Downtown Development Board Budget Resolution, a resolution of the City of Orlando, Florida, adopting the annual budget of the Downtown Development Board for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2018 and ending September 30, 2019.
Brian?
The total proposed budget for the Downtown Development Board is $4,768,768. Has not changed since our first public hearing. The budget and brief, Commissioner notebooks are all available on our website in addition to the information included in this formal budget resolution.
I don't have any requests for public comment. Are there any? Discussion among commissioners. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries.
Mayor, I didn't get a motion in a second.
Get a motion.
Oh, let's start all over again then. Is there a motion to adopt the budget for the DDB? Motion by Commissioner Stewart, second by Commissioner Sheehan. All right, let's try voting on that motion. All in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. For real that time. Okay, let's go to the this is the second of two public hearings for the adoption of the millage rate and budget for the Downtown South. We've been here a long time. Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District for fiscal year 2018-19. At the first hearing held on September the 4th, City Council adopted the millage rate and tentative budget. At this second hearing, City Council will consider for adoption the final millage rate and budget. Madam Clerk, would you read the title of the millage resolution for the NID?
Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District Millage Resolution, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, and the Board of Directors of the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District, levying an ad valorem tax at the rate of $1 per $1,000 of assessed value on non-exempt real property located within the jurisdictional boundaries of the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District, providing certain findings, providing for administrative millage adjustment in accordance with Florida statutes, providing for the collection of taxes, providing for severability, correction of scrivener's errors, repeal of conflicting resolutions, and an effective date.
So moved.
The proposed, that's okay. Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Stewart. The proposed millage rate for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District for fiscal year 2018-19 is 1 mil, which is 4.71% higher than the rollback rate of 0.9550. We've had the motion. Brian?
On July 11th, the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District Advisory Council recommended their millage, and on July 23rd, the City Council, on behalf of the Downtown South, NID set the millage rate of 1.00, adhering to all trim guidelines. That millage rate was proposed again on September 4th. An advertisement ran in our local paper last Thursday, the 13th of September. The final rate has remained the same throughout the entire fiscal year 2019 budget development and is within the parameters outlined by the state. It has also not changed from the prior year and is to provide administrative and infrastructure projects within the district.
Public comment? Discussion among commissioners? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. 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 So those opposed? So the motion carries. Madam Clerk, the title of the budget resolution, please.
Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District Budget Resolution, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, and the Board of Directors of the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District adopting the fiscal year 2018-2019 budget for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District, providing certain findings, providing certain budget accounting procedures, providing for severability, correction of scrivener's errors, repeal of conflicting resolutions, and an effective date.
Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Ings. Brian?
The total proposed budget for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District is $643,227. Has not changed since our first public hearing. The budget in brief and Commissioner notebook documents are available on our website in addition to the resolutions included in this packet.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to comment? Discussion among commissioners? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? So the motion carries, and if there's no objection, we can adjourn the City Council meeting and convene the Board of Directors for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District. This is the second of two public hearings for the adoption of the millage rate and budget for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District for fiscal year 2018-2019. At the first hearing held September 4th, the Board of Directors adopted the proposed millage rate and tentative budget. At this second hearing, the Board of Directors will consider for adoption the final millage rate and budget. Madam Clerk, would you read the millage resolution?
Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District Board of Directors millage resolution, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, and the Board of Directors of the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District levying an ad valorem tax at the rate of $1 per $1,000 of assessed value on non-exempt real property located within the jurisdictional boundaries of the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District, providing certain findings, providing for administrative millage adjustment in accordance with Florida statutes, providing for the collection of taxes, providing for severability, correction of scrivener's errors, repeal of conflicting resolutions, and an effective date.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Hill. The proposed millage rate for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District for fiscal year 2018-19 is 1 mil, which is 4.71% higher than the rolled back rate of 0.9550. Brian.
On July 11th, the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District Advisory Council recommended their millage, and on July 23rd, the Board of Directors of the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District set a millage of 1.000 adhering to all trim guidelines. That millage rate was proposed again on September 4th. An advertisement ran on our local newspaper last Thursday, September 13th. The final rate has remained the same throughout this entire budget development process and was within the parameters outlined by the state. It's also not changed from the prior year and is to provide administration and infrastructure projects within the district.
Is there anyone from the public like to comment? Discussion among commissioners. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? So the motion carries. Madam Clerk, would you read the title of the budget resolution?
Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District Board of Directors Budget Resolution, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, and the Board of Directors of the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District adopting the fiscal year 2018-2019 budget for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District, providing certain findings, providing certain budget accounting procedures, providing for severability, correction of scrivener's errors, repeal of conflicting resolutions, and an effective date.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Ings. Brian.
The total proposed budget for the Downtown South Neighborhood Improvement District is $643,227 and has not changed since our first public hearing. Budget in brief and the Commissioner notebook documents are available on our website in addition to the information included in this formal budget resolution.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to comment on this budget? Discussion among commissioners, or actually directors. Hearing none. Yeah, we got it. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. All right, Brian, I want to thank you and your entire staff for a job well done. I know you'll probably start next year's budget next week, close out this fiscal year in a couple of weeks and then get started on next year's budget, but very professionally done. I think commissioners understood what decisions they were making, so the information that was provided was extremely helpful. I know you did briefings with each of the commissioners, and hopefully you guys all feel very well informed about the budget, whether you like what's in it or not exactly, at least you know what's in it. So you want to have your team stand up and let us give them some love?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, and I just wanted to point out, this is the Office of Management budget, but this budget, as we've talked about many years, is done from the department's perspective and all the fiscal managers, even down to the people that are responsible for our programs out in our community. And I know this team couldn't do it without them. So, but we appreciate all the help that we get, including from the councils.
Okay. Well, thank you. Job well done, and we will stand adjourned.